Hello and welcome to this session. I was supposed to moderate it, which is the beginning of something going wrong. But my good friend Swapnil, who's here with us, actually decided to step in. And while he has tried to save my soul before also, and probably he will save me today too. So with his help and with the help of Ateet and Soniya and Kanika, all of us have put together a terrible show for you. So I hope you keep your interest till the end. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about COVID currently and its impact on the industry. But I don't want this to be a pity party. I want this to be a useful, functional session for you, such that you have a takeaway which is of some consequence, which is not usually what you expect from architects. So hopefully we can drop our usual ways and actually do something of interest to others. So here you go. We don't have much time. It's about an hour that we have in all. In this hour, we would be also doing a poll, which means that any of you who are listening in and who have nothing better to do on a Monday, and which means the future of our industry anyways. So if any of you are signed into this and wish to contribute, then we have a simple poll put up. It's rather stupid because I designed it. And we will ask you very significant questions like, did you try to make babies in this time? So those questions will keep popping to you from time to time. I will start off with the first question of the poll, which is what I'll ask the participants as well. The first question goes like this. What did you most spend your time doing in this one single moment in your life when you were actually gainfully unemployed, because you could actually have time to yourself? So in this time of gainful unemployment, what did you do? So there are 4 options here, and I think our supporters will put up the poll for you. In the lockdown, what did you do? Netflix, I did a lot of that and such. Housework, I mean, some friends here did housework, and I won't put up my hand for that. Did you pick up a skill or learning, whatever it might have been? And most likely, did you make babies? Because apparently a lot of you are still young and happy to go, and some of us still feel that. But I think either you would divorce your spouses, which is very likely, or actually end up making babies. So, so let's go with that. And while you can poll about it, we'll have about 30 seconds for that. I'll go to Swapnil to begin with. I think he's the most interesting to give us a tangential answer. Swapnil.
What?
Answer your view.
No.
Did you try to make another baby? I think they're still in the age.
No. Not with the same woman.
Okay, this is a family channel. So other than that, obviously you are not going anywhere. Did you try with the bike, for God's sake? Well, what on earth are you talking? Look, listen, any skill that you picked up, anything that you did in the meanwhile?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes, Swapnil,
yes.
I'm asking you. And
Okay.
I have the poll in front of me, so I'll share it with you.
No, I did go through certain webinars. After a point of time,
So you're saying learning and skill, right?
Learning and skill, yes.
No, learning and skill.
Skill, yeah. I did some household work where I developed some skills of cooking and so on.
I would like to add to this. Well, I haven't been learning skills, but I have been definitely teaching new skills to my family. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What are you teaching them?
Cooking. To begin with, which is very interesting. And
so this is a new view. She upgraded other skills. We never had that in mind.
I'm upgrading other skills, and
she's getting the job done, basically.
At all person.
Let's move on.
We should have had Swapnil's wife join as well. She would have probably contributed well to this. But so, okay, here are the poll results. Obviously, people are bashful here. I don't know what's the mix between men and women here, but I can clearly see that there are a lot of men who do not want to admit to the reality. So here is learning and skill gets 52%. Housework gets 14%. So I will bet my money on the fact that more men right now listening in than women because they don't want to look stupid to themselves. But truthfully, and Swapnil is a much more emancipated man than most. So housework is a big thing that we all do. And I would do it as well if I was with my mother at least. So Netflix is what I did mostly. Making babies, well. So 5% made babies, try to make babies. 52 did skill development. 14% did something about. So there you go. Actually, a lot of people do not really enjoy their lives. Just 5% making babies. I mean, what better chance do you have? I mean, really? Or do you have a geriatric kind of a lineup today? I mean, where nobody even considers pleasures of life. If I have to, in some seriousness, capture what comes out of this poll is that people are at least investing in creating a better future in some sense, because or enabling themselves such that they become more empowered to do what they want to do in life. So if that be the case, then 52% is not a bad number. I mean, presidents of America have got elected for less. I will pose the next question to Swapnil and maybe lose my jacket also in a while because it seems to be inordinately hot here. Swapnil, this one is sizzling and comes straight to you. Are we underselling ourselves, and did we have a tragic circumstance that was going on where Corona only exacerbated the situation? Do we get enough fees, and are we paying enough? Do you have enough resources? Straight ask.
I have made much more resources, but the fees that you're getting are not taking care of those resources. That's the fact.
All right. No, those are liabilities. Sorry, I'm apologies. We understand differently.
Let's not call them liabilities. Let's call them resources.
No, they're listening.
Of course. Yeah. So the fees that, when you talk about fees, you know, the fees that we have been getting has been diminishing day by day. And I suddenly realized something very interesting. You know, the reason why fees are getting reduced is because the FSIs have gone up.
Huh?
Hear me out. FSI has gone up because of
These two don't
have
consider FSIs in their work. The
I'll
lady
tell you how it
out
is.
here.
Okay, let me explain you. This is one aspect. In 70s, when the buildings were only G+3 or G+4, there was nothing like a builder or a developer in the industry.
Really?
Each G+3 building was one project. When the FSI went up, and architects did it. When FSI went up, 70 buildings started coming together and started becoming one project.
Now,
so 70 projects.
There are not too many that happened, but
I
get the point.
The moment buildings became multi-storied, you started housing more people in the same building and started becoming one project.
How does that connect with fees, Swapnil?
Fees is because the amount of work got reduced. Architects started competing with each other, dropping their pants down, and reducing the fees. So it's we who are responsible for dropping the fees because of the scarcity of work. Number one.
Okay.
Number two. Let me complete.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Take all your time.
Let me complete.
Earlier,
it was only the architect and a civil engineer or a structural engineer used to be a part of the project.
Yeah.
So the entire cake was just divided between two. With the time, the projects became more complex, and you have an MEP engineer coming into it, you have a sustainability engineer coming into it, you have a traffic engineer coming into it, you have a MOEF guy coming into it, and the same cake, the pie started becoming smaller and smaller. Because
really, is that what you think? I'll argue with you on this, just for the sake of an argument that to make this more interesting. I think they are as lachar as you are, for God's sake. I mean, I would think that the asurs of this whole story were the PMCs who we encouraged, and they basically made you a cog in the wheel. You got to admit to that. Do you think an MEP gets paid anything substantial now, or for that matter, a traffic engineer or anybody? Nobody gets paid anything, right? So we are.
But PMCs also don't get anything substantially paid.
You know, they have a collateral benefit from doing one kind of a transaction and then benefiting on the PMC side and benefiting in 5 different ways. And frankly, they have mandates which are international. So you and me cannot have those mandates. That's a completely different business altogether. But the point is this that I'm trying to make. And I'll give statistics for this. Swapnil, without taking names, and I plead on that point, please give me a sense about what some of the companies that we consider as leading companies in India, and you know the statistics as well as I do. What are the numbers in terms of their turnovers? Now, look, the caveat here is that turnover is not the only way to judge the value of something, right? Of a service. But we are finally in a quasi business situation that we give a service for a certain remuneration. And there ought to be a judge at least of what the market values you to be. So, Swapnil, I'll give you the opportunity to respond on what are the kind of numbers we are looking at. Of companies.
See, I won't know much. I won't know much, but my research or speaking to some people.
Research, right?
Okay, at an average, 100 people company in Mumbai does a turnover, an average turnover of 10 crores. So that's the liability versus the turnover that they do.
So if you do the basic math of it, okay, 10 crores and 100 people. Now you compare this with other industries, almost every other industry. I think it's as pathetic as it can be. I'm sorry, I'm not sugarcoating this issue. The reason being that this goes to the core of a lot of the ills that we suffer from. Low quality talent, low quality, engagement with the client, low quality output as such. And all of that comes down to the fact that we've not been able to explain the value of the service that we provide, and we are getting remunerated so pathetically. Wouldn't you agree on that? Anybody else wants to take that up? Ateet?
So yeah,
in a minute.
My intake basically is, you're right that the PMCs are paid, but then again, as Swapnil said rightfully, the pie chart is being increasing day by day. So like he said earlier, the architects had on the forefront. Now the PMCs, the MEPs, a lot of the job has basically been diversified in the same package. If you know what I'm trying to retaliate with what Swapnil is saying. So at the end of the day, all these people, agencies should come together. We need to put our foot down. That's the basic idea.
We'll come to the solutions. No, listen, guys, hang on. We'll come to the solutions. There's a whole thing for that. I'm just saying, and again, statistics, because look, we're not only talking to each other. There are a bunch of people who have taken out time today. I wonder why. But so we should. No, obviously for you two ladies, but certainly not for us. And on that itself, I would like. Well, there are dogs around. So on that,
he's also
yes, he's quite something. So on that itself, I'd like to make a point. The point is this: I did this number crunching once, math not being my forte, but in a place like Mumbai and in a particular location like Bandra, if you're doing a building, an architect gets paid an X amount of money, right? Approvals consultant, who basically manages the entire gamut of approvals that you need, gets paid 10x of what you do typically. And the construction cost is roughly about 200x, maybe between 100 to 200x of what you get paid, usually around 200x. And the selling price, even if you discount for the fact that there is an inherent value of land involved, is around 2000 to 3000x. So in pure terms, in pure number terms, X defines your relative value in the entire equation. Now you compare X to 3000X. I always wondered why X was, they always try to make X into 0.5X and not 0.75X, because really it did not matter. Where have we gone wrong? It's a big question that need to answer. And frankly, this is a question that any of you can answer. I'll start with the ladies here. Kanika, what do you think? It's the same for interiors as well. I mean, the amount of money that they invest in interiors is extraordinary. There are crores spent on homes, and you do homes, right? So why and what? Why do? And I'm not suggesting that you're getting paid less personally. I'm saying, as an industry generic question, why do they not pay enough? What's the issue there?
Well, I think it really depends on, it's a very subjective kind of a question. It also depends on what you have been doing, how many years of experience you have. Well, you see the newcomers, who are actually posing a threat, so to the oldies, which is,
Our friend, I'm sorry to interrupt. Swapnil has done 450 corporate projects. Swapnil, you there?
Yeah, yeah.
You seem to have kind of freezed out. So he's done 450, 500 projects by now. And I would love him to have more acceptance in terms of remuneration by now. The fact that he has to yet struggle, and all of us need to. I mean, he's not special in that way.
Can I add a point here?
Please, of course, go ahead, lady.
Yeah, basically, I feel that we have been observing this trend for quite some time now, where we have to get the message across that we have to be paid a certain amount. But the thing is, there is a surplus of designers in the market, as we all know. But there is actually no regulation on what should be charged. There is absolutely no regulation. And then what happens, like in a situation like COVID as well,
Good point there.
that it's like you have to survive in the market. You're looking for one break, especially if we talk about new designers. They want that one break to make an impact and show their work. Now, at such a situation, of course, the person is going to say, okay, fine, I'll charge you less money, but let me show you what I'm capable of. And that's the catch. I think that is where the industry is going to struggle. So I think we as an organization, as a fraternity, need to regulate it.
I cut
think
it right there.
But
I cut it right there. Kanika, just a moment, please.
Sure.
I'll come back to you. I need to get back to Ateet on this. Ateet, you understand, you understand the system, how it works outside of India as well. To an extent, we had a conversation. Do you think India is ready for self-regulation in that sense, where architects have to actually reapply for their for their certifications from time to time and pass certain levels of tests to ensure that their registration remains active? So and that applies to designers as well.
Yeah, right. So I don't know about India, but I would like to add and phrase this like the designers basically of India are much more ready on their feet to, get this thing done. The only thing
will they go for exams at the age of 40? Simple question.
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
You're reinventing your entire life. And
see, my intake is if you have a new product in the market, you go and you examine the product, know the product. So it's just giving a QA for that particular product.
Those are very structured kind of steps that you have to pass from time to time. Do you think it's viable and do you think there'll be widespread support within the design community to actually administer some system like that?
Yeah, absolutely. See, the whole idea about an architect giving an exam again at the age of 40 or an age of 50, the whole idea is when you have PMCs involved in a project, you are filling up tons of forms. There's more paperwork which happens rather than, I have seen conference rooms, where the papers are flying from here and there.
Yeah,
in a PMC. So there, I think it won't be a task for an architect to give a re-examination. It will make him more equipped.
Serious questions. Okay, fair enough. But from my little anecdotal kind of evidence that I've collected with a few friends around, it seems to be that everybody is not mentally prepared for that. Kanika, back to you quickly. Whatever you have to say, because we are running out of time now.
It's basically a mindset, I would say. I mean, even if you have to take, coming to your exam bit, right? But this is the latter part. But the earlier part was where, Soniya was giving her bit on the fees, as was Swapnil. So I think it's a mixed kitty for all of us. Some is where you are kind of, you negotiate. Some you're sure you're not going to negotiate. It's a whole balance about creating.
We are looking at more generically. No, I understand what you're saying.
Where you want to draw the line, essentially.
Look, Guys, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you in between, and it's not because I've watched too many TV shows, because I literally have a counter of time running on top. So, okay, now the question is this. If fee is such a big issue after COVID, what do you think will the outlook be in the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and the year? And for the audience, there's a poll put up right now for you. Guys, give me your answer quickly. I mean, because they have 30 seconds, so maybe you have less than that. So let's say, would you be able to pay your EMIs for what? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? Be honest. I mean, there's no shame here. None of the PMCs are listening in any way. Neither government bodies.
I think one is going to be more cautious now, especially if you're, the two aspects.
Lady, no, maybe if it's 1 year, say 1 year. I'll be happy and proud for you. But let others also speak. Swapnil has gone into a
Yeah,
crisis.
maybe 6 months. Yeah, to be
6 months.
6 months.
Well done,
Yeah.
well done, well done, well done. So, okay, this is statistics. 1 month is 14%, 3 months is 51%, and 22% is 6 months, and 1 year is 14%. So there you have. It's inordinately stacked towards a 3-month story. 3 months is everything. People are developing 6 skills in 3 months. People have a runway of 3 months for everything. And sorry, you were 6 months. Kanika, what about you? Discount your husband's income, please. Everybody. Swapnil, your wife's income as well.
Oh, I don't have a husband. Anyways, but besides that.
Oh, really? My apologies. Oh, well done, by the way. Well done. I'm so proud. Finally, someone.
But the thing is, I think people are going to be overtly conscious and cautious from, I think, till a year, because everybody is looking at how many pennies they have to spend, essentially.
No, but Kanika, there are people who are running out of money, literally. Like, literally, they're running.
Yeah, so conserve and preserve.
How? By not paying them? So, how are you doing it? Are you killing your staff? They're listening.
No. We have not retrenched anybody. Not at all. So we're doing it a little differently. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Love and compassion. I'll kill you, but with love and compassion. Halal. Ateet, what about you? Quickly.
I actually have to say we have actually kept our employees intact. There has been no issue.
3 months, 6 months.
3 months, yeah, because I think the maximum poll of 3 months came because the banks have let go on the EMIs for 3 months. So my intake.
Good point.
So I think the 3 months is a valid.
But month has passed out of that.
So 2 mahina baki hai.
2 mahina. Actually, let's update them. It's only 2 months left. Back to firms, since all of you run your own firms. What's the decline that you foresee in the meager income that you are also making? And I'm sorry, I'm stressing on this fact, because I think that's the core of all evil that happens in our profession, that we do not get paid adequately. And I've been fighting this evil all my life. So what's your runway, all of you, with your staff in place? Forget the EMI, running the office.
There's a poll question, right?
But also to you guys, you can hold your poll. I mean,
no, I can survive only for 3 months, not more than that.
All right, well done. 3 months. I'm putting for 0. I'm putting my hand for 0. Yeah. What about you guys? Hopefully that should give you confidence to speak.
Just trying to be positive.
नहीं, positive तो ठीक है, but foolish नहीं है ना. मतलब we need to see things for what they are. That's the whole point of this conversation, really.
It is
Ateet, you as well,
yes.
Yeah, so for me...
give me a number.
3 months.
No, there are not tax people listening in.
Not more than 3 months.
I'll go with the poll, 3 months.
Yeah.
Kanika?
So I guess... I'm frozen. I can't hear anybody. Okay. No, again. It's going and coming.
Okay, you can sign it. 3, 6, 1. All right, no worries. I suppose Kanika has is low on internet and high on value, but okay. So now I think we're pretty much spent all the time talking about money that we are not getting, so which is terrible. I would want some suggestions from you for what we can possibly do. Do we, and I hope this becomes a poll question, do we reimagine our services, or do we just wait it out? I'm living at my sister's house at the moment in Gurgaon for whatever the reason may be, because I couldn't get back to Mumbai also. So this could be a viable alternative. I live with my parents. I mean, they can feed me food at the age of whatever, hitting 50. But this will not be a joke soon. You realize that, all of you, right? What is the alternative? So I have given in my poll, silly poll question that I put, I said the last one was doing kheti, because we've been talking about this, and I called it farming at a village. So you can live off family, you can accept a reduced salary, and this goes to the poll generally. Change to another work. And my friend Swapnil reared bees once, and then he also did finance, and he did land stuff, and God knows what all he has done. He's got like 100 businesses. And yes. So what would be your strategy in case your revenues do not catch up in the next 3 months? And 3 months is what we are looking at as the baseline on which we can have this discussion. All of you, directly, straight.
So should I go?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I would have a suggestion for everybody: do not panic. That's the first thing what I said to myself when this came up. So what happens is when
that I'm getting here for the poll.
Yeah, so when we had recession period, if I'm right, in 2003 2004. So during those courses also people panicked, and when you panic, as the poll question shows, you start taking a reduced amount of fees, and everything starts hitting you back. So as a fraternity,
okay, so I'll give I take your point, but what I need to tell you is this: close to 50%, just a few percentages lesser than, have taken the middle two, which is I'll take a reduced salary or I'll shift to another profession. That is your audience right there. And only 3% think that they'll farm, but because probably they don't know what farming is really, I know. But also 6% think that they're okay living off their family. Okay, this should shock us and surprise us and put everything into context. It is a serious situation. Look, there are two things to it. One is the reality of what it is, which usually is not how economy runs. Many of you understand that. It runs on sentiment. The sentiment is very poor at the moment. And that means, I mean, I can see the glint in your eye. Don't hire people at half the salary. But I'm just saying that this does not bode well for the industry if 50% of people are willing to shift to something else. Almost 50%. And 50% are saying that I will take reduced salary, which means that from a bad situation, we'll get worse as the time comes. Look, we need to have ideas to bring it back. I would not end this conversation on a dismal note. So quickly, between all of you, I'll ask this question. And maybe just put up your hand. So just two of you maybe. How do you think we can pull up the remuneration such that the industry doesn't go into a pit now?
Whom are you asking this question to?
I said two hands. Not both your hands, but like,
okay, one thing which is important in our industry is we need to increase the work itself for fees to be stable. That is, increase the demand.
The base of the industry that we address.
Yeah. So it's basically how PMC does. It milks the same cow from day one till day end.
Okay, people are listening.
Okay, so they start with transaction and end it with facility management. So the entire life cycle of a particular...
those cows, yes, of course.
Those cows, okay. So here, if architects start doing other work other than just pure design, things change. Secondly, as far as offices are concerned, for example, the way chartered accountants have an audit, which happens, every year. If municipal corporation starts insisting on audits of building every 3 years, there'll be so much of work for architects.
So you're
Architects become
saying
the auditor.
so you basically say that being statutory consultants, because we have a statute that governs our industry, you think, and sorry ladies, for a moment we are getting into architecture very specifically, you're saying that we should get more statutory responsibilities and powers such that our industry can be run.
Yes. So you develop an annuity income for the industry. The way chartered accountants have.
Annuity income, really? Okay, wonderful.
And just to add to Swapnil, this was there earlier. The audit was, followed earlier in the mid 70s, and suddenly it was stopped. Earlier, the stability of the building and everything were given 10 years, 15 years as a life.
Yeah.
But now the audit does not happen. Sorry. Yeah. Sonia.
But look, Swapnil, don't you think that is a rather regressive way to look at it? Because the world is moving generally towards liberalizing systems. We want more regulation, and that's the only way we earn.
That's one way of doing it. Yeah, Sonia, please.
Okay, one way.
I wanted to add to Swapnil's point that it is not just so that we get to work. It is important when it comes to safety regulations, so we don't have hazards like happened recently, like especially the fire hazard.
I was going to ask you that.
So it is important.
I'm coming to that, Sonia.
Yeah, all right.
I'm coming to that.
Thank you.
So one point is this. No, of course, I remember what your interests are. So, and Ateet, I'll also ask you something similar on architecture. I do remember. So, okay. Now you're saying that one way is to give us more statutory and regulatory authority such that
I'm saying create demand of work. It could be, this is one way of creating a demand of work. There could be many other ways of creating demand of work.
Okay, Swapnil, a question goes to you, and we have discussed this before. There is a body that regulates us, which is called COA. It doesn't necessarily enable us. So this regulatory body has a suggestion of kind of fee structure that you ought to have. It has no value. You understand? I understand it. Yeah. And it also falls with the MRTP Act. I mean, you cannot have that in the current jurisprudence that we have. So, but there is clearly a QCBS system government accepts of doing tenders for large projects. One of the tragedies of India, I believe, I don't want to get into a big spiel about it, is that the biggest projects are not coming to architects. For instance, smart cities architects are not doing. NBCC has 2 lakh crore square feet of mandate and all of that. But nothing happens. I mean, none of that comes to us literally, and anything that goes is all in, with all services in, is 0.25% or 2.3% and 2.7%, 0.2523. So government clearly is not this. Have we failed in advocating in fundamental advocacy, where we say that there has to be a base minimum price line? Even if you need to change the MRTP Act for that, there has to be base minimum price line, and also there is no structure of encouragement for younger practices, for more talented practices. QCBS system gives you some opportunity, but it is mostly on the side of having had prior experience and having the manpower and all. Still, that benefits the bigger organizations. So again, the statistic that might surprise you, even on these QCBS systems, most of the projects are taken by the big firms who are not architects. They are finance firms, he knows, I know, and there are PMC firms and all of that who are doing 1,000 crore turnovers compared to what we do piddly amounts. And he's talking about like 10, 15, 16 crores, and that is the reality. So QCBS is one way, but should we advocate for a baseline kind of fees, which many countries do have?
I personally feel that's not going to happen. Simple way could happen in this way, the way it happens in developed countries, is any government project should have at least 3 firms coming together of different sizes to do the projects. So it could be one large firm, one mid-sized firm, and one small firm. The moment you do this, again, you are building a lot of projects in the industry, because of which the competition will go down, the fees will get stabilized. If you do that, that will work fantastic. So a small firm gets a chance to do an airport, a mid-sized firm gets a chance to do an airport, and a large firm also gets a chance to do an airport, and it builds capacity.
I think it's not an unfair ask. Ateet, quickly, as an architect.
Yeah, I totally agree. See, the other countries like the US and in Japan, they are following, they don't look at the size of a company. It basically is on the pitching of the project. Funds are available. There are many banks which, give you support on this. So I believe that, like what even Swapnil said rightfully, an airport can be done by any firm, whether it's a mid-size or a large body,
No, but
and we
Ateet,
should leave
the
it to it.
argument made here, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, and by people like
Hmm.
even Bimal Patel, is that
Hmm.
uh, a small firm is incapable of handling the complexities of a large firm. And there, it's not an unfair argument. I mean, it seems to have some validity to it. So maybe the suggestion that multiple firms can come together, but does that really work practically, Swapnil, outside of
Yes,
India?
it does. See,
It does
so
work.
what
It
I'm
does
trying
work.
to get, it does work. See, when a small firm gets involved in a project, a larger body firm can, become a mentor kind of in the project. But, the chance is not given to a, mid-sized firm to pitch for a big project. And that has
So
been going on from 2 decades now.
Because
no,
our
I
ecosystem,
understand. So yeah, Kanika, please quickly, because I need to make a point which is relevant to all of you now.
yeah, so I'm trying to say that look at our ecosystem, it's got so much of
See.
clout, in the sense, where is the fairness? Even if you have the credibility, your firm has the credibility, and you've done, different stratas of budgets. It's a very rare notion that, the balance cannot be, I don't know, it's probably not so optimistic to think about this, but rarely is there a balance because there's so much of the
No,
clout.
there's never a balance. Clearly, there's never a balance. But I want to end all these conversations, or at least on a positive suggestion from our side. So, do you think the world should move towards more collaboration, such that there is a dynamic in which we can get the best talent to the best opportunity in a dynamic fashion, and people don't sit at home who are very capable, and others who have too much work do not have enough people? And that's been the industry for a very long while. Architecture, interiors, anything. And I'm not saying that we will be unique in doing that. A lot of industries are moving to that format very clearly, where talent is available dynamically. Do you think we should move towards that and
Yeah.
create systems that enable that? What do you say, all of you?
Yes, of course. I think
Yes, we
Yeah,
should
I'm saying in
collaborate.
theory,
Yeah.
it's practical, it's possible to do that. In
Yeah.
many ways, I can get into details later. But do you think it's desirable rather than working in silos, because it's not working for the benefit of most, not
Yeah.
even our clients for that matter? Would you
Yeah.
agree, all of you?
Yeah, I
Sorry to
totally
comment
Yes.
agree
across
to
you.
this, but I have one thing to add in your discussion is like one point we have skipped. Even nowadays, the architect are doing big interior projects. So a big chunk of large interior projects are also going to the architects. So I feel that the first, if
And they
the
shouldn't. I mean, I'm asking.
yeah, I am very much, being an architect, I would rather say that other
No,
countries are,
come on. Let's drop
and
biases. I'm asking you.
yeah,
Interior
yeah,
projects of a large scale are very complex. Do you think we need architectural skills for that? I'm asking a very straight question. Because Swapnil runs a very good practice doing big projects and
yeah, I totally
also.
understand Swapnil has done, but my intake
That's
in
great.
this is my intake in this is that interiors uh, uh, is a specialization. You have your safety rules and all for complex jobs which are there. An architect can be involved,
Uh,
if you're
it's
seeing
been
what I'm getting
argued
to.
recently. It's been argued recently, and there's a letter floating around, which is an amendment to the Architects Act. I'm sorry, two ladies, I'll get you bored on this moment, but there is a very specific discussion there. What is the role
But
that architects ought to play?
can I butt
Yes,
in a little bit?
please do. I'm waiting for you to bargain.
Oh, so I just, pardon me, but I want to add here,
No, please.
it should be like, may the best man win. There is no, there is no
Or
incident
woman.
which, okay, the woman also. So there is no incident which shows that an interior designer cannot handle gamuts of
Yes.
space or expanses. So, you know, there, I mean,
It's a very
yes,
important discussion. I take your point. I take your point. I take
so
your point. But we need to decide what an interior designer is trained at and what they should have skills. So this is a
yeah,
different
so just
discussion.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so
I mean,
I would,
accepted, but I think it's important to reiterate this point here. That's it.
yeah, I don't think that
Okay.
architects
So
shouldn't do this, but of course, interior designers are totally specialized in it, and it's not that we cannot design large spaces. It's like it's not just like an
okay,
architect
straight
design. We are
question to
trained
all
in
of you.
it.
Do you think we have cut this up a bit too much into architecture, interior design, window design? What is that called? It's called something, right? The retail design, or into products, and then into the front end engineering and design, and then into the specifics of. Do you think it's so cut up now that we have got into little tribes now that which do not really talk to each other? Frankly, I do not see why I should not do interiors, and I do not think why somebody capable in interiors should not be able to contribute to architecture. And I will give me a whack on my back for that, but that's the truth of it. I really think so. I
So
really
there
think
are,
so.
so there are overlaps of because the entire design canvas is so huge. And having
Yeah.
said that the canvas is so huge, there are going to be overlaps, you know. So
They should be, right? They should be,
yes,
right?
yes,
Say yes. Guys, you
There
also
should
say
be, and we should work
Yes.
together. We shouldn't compete as
protect you.
designers and architects. Collaboration is the
but
keyword here.
here the design sensibilities, the nuances and sensitivities, I would say definitely differ sometimes. I mean, you can't make a generic
But
statement.
Kanika, their design, a project is more than just design. You know well. I mean, there's too many things that go into it. Yeah, clearly.
Yes,
So
yes.
somebody has to lead clearly that question. But so,
Yeah.
are we open to collaboration? Give me a positive answer at least. I want to go on with a
Absolutely,
good.
absolutely.
In fact,
Yes.
you'd be surprised. Sonia is doing something very interesting in terms of getting
No,
interior
I know.
designers, architects
Not your business.
collaborating.
Not your, not your business right now. Hang on.
Okay.
Just not a,
We'll come
not
to
give me a
that.
spiel.
Yes, we
No,
should
we'll come to that
collaborate.
later.
Yeah.
People are getting bored. We should come to that question and answer. I think people are waiting for more questions.
Poll.
Oh, Bobby Vijayakar said, well said. Huh. So whatever the next poll is, I forgot. Please put it up so I can also see. We have much less time left here. Guys, you'll have to like speed talk now. Kahan poll? Poll ko khol. No, I can't see it. So,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Amongst those.
So, no, this is a little dismal. Amongst those with jobs, current salary reduction or deferment is 25%, 50% might lose job. Since Swapnil is the eternal carrier of everybody, so I won't ask him this question. Ateet, maybe you can give me a more sensible answer.
Yeah, so I think on the poll, I don't
can't
think
ask him
people. Okay, so on a very serious note, my view is that people should not lose their jobs,
Of
since
course, you don't
there's
want
a lot
anyone to
of
lose jobs. So of course not. But खाएंगे क्या? मतलब literally अगर नहीं आया काम तो फिर क्या करेंगे?
नहीं, वैसे
What
तो
does
घर पे
Swapnil do?
हम
I
लोग
care for it.
खाना बनाना सीख ही रहे हैं. That's not a.
वो तो हाँ, Swapnil भी सीख रहा है, मैं भी सीख रहा हूँ. ऐसा नहीं
Yes,
है.
so
Hello, women.
so
You
that's
finally
not going to
had
be
this equalization happen.
Our bread and butter is still on, so I don't think that should
Butter
be
जाने
an
वाला है,
issue.
but
So
ठीक है. No.
ठीक है, सूखा खा लेंगे, but still it
हाँ.
will fill our tummies. So I'll put it on that note.
This is dismal. Give me a positive view. Matlab, I want to go back, giving other people also some positivity. Yes, please.
The real thing is, there is a fear that people are having a fear that they will lose jobs in the coming few months.
They
So,
will. Of course they will.
yes. So we have to face
So
that.
kuch bhi kar, if you don't get work, okay. So here's the poll. No, this will be good for you. So amongst those with jobs, current salary reduction deferment, currently 18% are saying nothing. Okay, good for them. 25% are already saying, or 24% are saying that 25% अपनी salary कम हो रही है. 50% बोल रहे 30% कम हो रही है salary. And might lose job is 27%. And if I do this poll in a month from now, I'm telling you the numbers will be different.
Yeah.
Because people are still in a honeymoon with COVID. We don't know what's going to hit us. I know, and there is no empirical evidence of this. Many people I've spoken to, they all are on salary reduction. Swapnil, truthfully, have you reduced salaries for your people or deferred them? Okay,
No,
that's it. No. क्या? I mean, ठीक है, सबने किया है. तू क्या?
नहीं किया है ना. We have not retrenched anybody. But
Yeah,
what
it's called
we have,
benching.
yeah, it's something simple. We have spoken to people and we have said that you are the moment office open in June, it will be a new starter.
If it doesn't open,
huh? What?
If it
doesn't open, then in July you will be a new startup.
Or August for that matter, or September.
So you
for
have
that
eternal optimist.
So you have
but you don't have an answer really.
About?
Is there a case to be made for us to rethink our services such that we are still relevant in the time of COVID? I'm asking a very specific question because हम wait कर रहे हैं passively for something to happen which would either fix us or get people the sentiment in place. Healthy industries don't do that. They find ways to remain relative and contextual to that situation at that time.
Right.
आज के दिन में तबाही में is there an answer?
In fact, the matured industries forecast recessions, ups and downs, and they're proactive in terms of creating demand.
This nobody forecast. Come on. I mean, even China didn't forecast unless they made it. So I'll quickly get to you, Sonia, and also you have like a couple of minutes, Sonia. I'm sorry, I'm out of time. You wanted to speak about workers and sites, right, Sonia?
Yes. Well, I would like to get
minutes,
this
please.
message across that we as an industry, we have to get the message across to people that we are still here and we are working on ways on how we can give our services to people. For example, as you see, there is a lot of role reversals at home, like men working in kitchens and also, for example, the all the standard measurements and all which you see for the kitchen might change because of the difference in the people who are using it, the heights and everything. So we have to understand that. So we are equipped with that.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because different people are using the different areas. Secondly, if a person has to have a lifestyle and they want to design a house, like DIY is big time in now. Everybody is doing it themselves. So we have to develop a design model.
Themselves.
So we have to, as designers, I think Kanika will agree with me that we have to develop models, design packages or something which can be given across, which we have already developed as Studio Purple Interior Design. People can check out.
So you're
on the
saying
website.
Architects should move towards, if I can, sorry, I'm interrupting, time being the only thing. I'm talking to Arnab Goswami right now. So I'm just saying, encapsulating, you're saying that architects should look at solutioning, a product-based solution really.
Yes.
Such that they... Point taken.
Do it yourself.
Kanika, do you agree?
Yes.
Kanika, do you agree?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. One agreement, second. Swapnil, you will agree with two women anyways. So I'm taking you in. Ateet.
Ready fit outs and all. And we are equipped with that now because we understand this.
Yes,
was
Ateet, quickly answer that and then the question about sites for you.
Yeah, so
quickly answer this, your view.
So as I said earlier, I believe that, you should not panic and be positive. I think we will bypass this also.
But brother, you're not panicking doesn't help because your clients are panicking, right? So
yeah, so I know. So what I have to say to that again, I don't expect my clients also basically to panic because if
they are
do
panicking, I mean,
yeah, I know. So it is
everybody's panicking.
So what I want to say that, if a patient goes to a doctor, the doctor is going to say, "Nahi, aaj to tujhe kaat hi dunga main." That's a panic thing. So, we need to give solution. We need to address the issue in a more positive way.
Okay. Now, last thing. I'm sorry, we have many questions, but time is short. And so quickly
Kanika
on your...
I just want to reiterate the same points that this COVID-19 has led to the emergence of newfound DIY enthusiasts. Every house, I think, must have a toolbox with a basic skill set, so you can actually, probably dabble in, if you are, like I said before, a paint.
हम क्या करेंगे?
तभी हम लोग will evolve.
We'll design the DIY kits.
Well,
No, no, I'm asking. No, no, seriously.
Yes, we
serious
have.
question.
We have seriously done them. Kalhan, I would
Okay,
like
got
to
it. No,
add.
you made your point.
DIY
I'm
kits.
taking your point now. Give us some space.
you can become a new furniture maker. You can become like a hardware, product designer,
Sure.
because you're looking at, different materials now for hardware with COVID.
Sure, I get your point.
So,
My friend Ateet has been bursting to talk about sites and lack of workers that we have now.
Yeah, so the same point what Sonia has raised, the same
I understand the
challenges are going to be faced in the architecture front also at the construction site. Safety being the primary aspect, the norms of safety have been changed.
Ateet,
The
just interrupting quickly.
yeah,
Workers
yes,
kahan hai?
yes, please.
Where are the workers?
Yeah, so I was getting to that. So
Oh, yeah.
first, the government told
Yeah.
us to reduce it to 33%. That was a big challenge for us. Then when we reduced it to 33%, there was a Gaya Baya. There was no workers because everybody started moving out of the city. So we again, at a very positive note, we tried to retain. So when you say that your earlier point of paying the wages, it automatically the wages went off. So the
Of course they
salaries
will
to
go.
which were to be so the salaries which were supposed to be paid, there were no workers. So there's no point for the client to pay any wages. So for us, it was a win-win situation. So
They've made
by
money out of
default,
it.
yeah, they
Win-win.
made money
How's
out
that
of it.
win-win?
Yeah, yeah. So
It
you
was
had
made out of
100, you had
The
100
people
workers.
listening.
The government tells you to make it 33%. So you have another 77% of the workers to be reduced. And post
But
that
clearly
again,
industry
your
loses, which means
yeah,
70% of work doesn't get done. I mean, obviously, I mean, come on, am I being
yeah.
stupid
So
here?
now the idea is to have more skilled workers. You need more skilled workers since your workers have reduced. You require more skilled workers, and an optimum work
On site.
should be on site. Yes, absolutely.
Of course, we have a huge skill deficit. All right, so I know there are many more questions, but the time is short, and all of you are wonderful people. And I think we've literally come to the end of it. And Conrad Gonzalez is asking a question, which is he's saying no, he's just saying it's an interesting and honest discussion. So I just like to close it up because I don't want to go too much. It's lunchtime for most people, and they start getting cranky, including you guys. So I just want to get to the point. I understand it's kind of a dismal outlook. Do you think that our industry has the capability to reimagine better futures? And I'll take a moment here with my own spiel. I'm saying that we have the capability to think very creatively, but I think we're very narrowly focused on what we do. Do you think we have been too slow, too lethargic in actually taking leadership in a lot of ways that we could have done? And it is an ego thing. In my case, it's totally not. I'm just saying that we have this combination of humanities and technology in our heads that very few other industries have. The way all of you are able to work. Kuch hai kya? आपको मैं statistics बता लेता हूँ, just to close it up, because just to spice it up. The investment in prop tech, for instance, property related technology, that includes everything that you have seen and heard, from housing.com to so many other things in India, including Foyer, and now has been close to $1 billion worldwide last year. And what are the fees from firms that earned about $20 billion, 20 or $25 billion? That's a lot of money. In India, one fund has $100 million to invest in technologies that are related to the AEC space, architecture, engineering, and construction. Why are we losing out on these opportunities? Why are we getting paid a minuscule amount of money in the entire equation? Whereas, again, not because I'm trained as an architect, I genuinely feel we have this unique view that has humanities and technology together. We dignify situations. We do not reduce it to commodified situations. Is it time for us to take it over now? I mean, we have let it go. पहले जो आए थे PMC, हमने बोला wonderful, हमारा काम आसान हो गया. I think we become too lazy, frankly. Don't you think we should step up and do something? It is मैंने AutoCAD कभी सीखा नहीं. I never learned it. And the truth be told, I mean, I can never, pretend to be something I'm not. But I fully understand the impact technology will have. It'll be a double whammy. COVID to chota tha. I think it'll be much bigger when technology hits us in all its ways, unless we take charge. And government engagement, government advocacy, government enabling, so to say, we have failed. I think we have failed in I've said this before, communicating the value of our services to our clients such that we get paid properly. Sanjay Puri, I just saw his video. I don't usually follow too many videos, but somebody sent it to me. He said, on an average, Indian architects are getting paid 1/50th of what foreign architects get paid. Why is it so? And architects, when I say generically, meaning it includes you as well, ladies. So we have failed there. We need to correct that as well. And we should be in a position that we empower the government and everybody else to do a better future. But it'll only happen if we do not speak only to ourselves and speak to others in a language that they understand.
Yes.
I will
yes.
ask you, I'll take a minute more. I understand it's already one. I'll take a minute or two more. If you're not connecting with analytics, if you're not connecting with data, if you're not connecting with understanding human needs, wants, and desires through the analysis of their behaviors, if you're not connecting with the entire system of production, because we do things so conservatively on our sites, we are behind the curve on that. If government doesn't believe in us, the clients don't believe in us, the interns and the architects, young architects don't believe in us, it's pathetic. Corona should be a wave, it should be a slap for us to wake up and do something about it. Frankly, look, all of you are successful people in your own ways, but you do not represent the entire majority. And frankly, that 90% majority of the professionals do not functionally service the needs of people they're supposed to. We are too small now in the reality of things. And I'm sorry, all of us need to drop our arrogance a little bit. I think we kind of too full of ourselves. So I would hope that all of you at the end of this do send some suggestions which we can put together and not put another paper to the mantri, but at least spark something. Kuch to ho. Somebody was saying that we should reactivate IA, and my friend here is doing a lot of effort with JJ Aja Association. And I was listening to his stories. I said, my God, nothing changes ever. Is that really the future that we want? To wait for something to happen? Others do not do that. You realize that. The industry works in a very different way. Technologists don't do that. They see opportunity here. If we have been doing things in a certain way, please come up with suggestions where we can do things better. I'm not saying money is the only measure of worth. But if you're a professional, money is a huge measure of it, because simply you're accepting that to give a service. And that accurately reflects the value others assign to. And I think for the whatever it's worth, Mahatma Gandhi, who I share my birthday with, God knows why, which is the weirdest kind of irony. But he gave us this respect for poverty, which I think has continued down to our profession. I really think we need to rethink this and come back with really constructive ideas. So, I don't know, did I take too much footage? Guys, so
not at all.
So, it's okay. We love to listen to you.
No. I'm not here to talk about myself. I really wanted to listen to you guys. I'm not kidding here. And have different views. And frankly, the views that came to me, Swapnil, to be agree kar, zabardasti, were actually very similar between architects and spatial designers. Think about it. I mean, they're saying the same things, basically. So, takeaways quickly. In terms of relevance, government, yeah, please go ahead. Say something.
Yeah, so
we have out of time actually.
Okay, so I just have 30 seconds. I would like to say that, you know, instead of using this term Corona, people should start using the hashtag Design Corona, Project Corona, Payment Corona.
I did that recently.
So,
Today
so
itself in a post.
yes, I
did
feel
that.
that this Corona should be added with the prefix words of Design Corona, Project Corona.
मतलब ये ना समझे
And-
कि करो ही मत, छोड़ दो.
Karo hi mat. Yes.
So when we as designers, we are generally holding workshops for applying design thinking for solutions. I think you all must have attended design thinking workshops. So why not look at the situation and come up with a solution, a design solution to all this? So my
Because
take on
we are
all this is,
fearful. हम नहीं बोलेंगे. We have such ability to think 360 degrees. By the way, I have quoted Parag on this. हम नहीं बोलेंगे because we are so focused on doing that right wall behind. मतलब and the bureaucrat decides the entire nature of your city. Isn't that rather tragic? And from interiors के लिए, special design के लिए, for that matter, it's as important. When I buy a car, it is not somebody told me this. This is not the looks of the car from outside, but from inside that matter finally. And it struck with me always. And that's a fact of it. So we have made these artificial separations, architecture, this experiential spatial design. I'm just saying, please make yourself relevant again. I mean, I'm a little dismayed. These are great people sitting in front of me.
so
And,
sorry
and
to
do
break
something
you,
which
Kalhan.
really changes the world.
Yes.
We're at 105 right now. I think after this, people will literally drop out. Last thing.
I'll just take 30 seconds here actually. So when we are talking about changing the world, I think it's very important right now to empower women because, there's been a role change and the man is not the sole provider in the house anymore. So guys, on a serious note, really, I'm not being feminist here, but we have worked out a model where we are actually with my dear friend architect Trupti Puranik, we have worked out a model in which we are going to empower women with skills in styling, and very soon this project will be like all over India.
It's so sexist. I'm good at styling, by the way.
But
oh yeah, you can train them.
Me?
The women will love to be trained by you, I'm sure. So we can definitely do this.
There was a pass. I mean, that's not nice.
Yeah. So it's about creating opportunity in a moment of crisis, and women love designing. Kanika will agree, because when we are doing residential projects, it's the women who are more involved with us, and they have this knack for it, So we thought, why not empower women? We train them as interior stylists. They will work under a group of 7 architects and designers, and we train them, and they can run a business out of it. So that's what we have come up with, and people can connect with me offline for details on this. So it's really amazing. So work towards empowering women.
I'll leave the gender thing out. I'll leave the gender thing out. Kanika, your last word, because the men will keep talking.
So I think it's very important. Learning is adopting digital. So, for years I've also been resisting that. So I think digital adaptation is you really need to adopt them like the digital media, like बच्चों की तरह उनको adopt करना चाहिए. That is the only way
बच्चे ही
ahead.
करते हैं.
हाँ, वो तो बहुत अच्छी तरह कर जाते हैं. It's just second nature, right? So it's only us, the oldies, which need to kind of sink down.
I'm not old.
Swapnil to eternally young.
To be in context, I think it is very important, and this is great realization now. And we are also doing, online courses, but then it's open for men and women. But that is going to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Awfully kind.
So anyways, necessity.
We have to earn our bet now.
So they say the old adage, which is necessity is the mother of invention. So I think online courses are really going to sprout everywhere.
Are we going to survive this? I mean, will I be talking to you 6 months later and you're still all designers and architects? Honest answer. Quickly.
Yes.
New resilience.
1 year? Swapnil?
Yes.
खेती तो नहीं कर रहा है तू?
I could be different,
Exactly. I knew you might. Ateet, honest answer, honest. Just because
Yeah,
कुछ आता
things
नहीं है
will
इसका मतलब
be.
नहीं.
No, things will be different. I totally agree. You never know. So
Option खेती का कुछ है. एक last online poll करी दो before we go. We have a
So
minute
women are
left.
very positive here on this panel.
नहीं, they always are. They're survivors. Men are the idiots. हैं, सब छोड़ो. Guys, last online poll करी दो. I mean, since the audience is still there, I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah,
Let me
I
check
heard somebody saying this is much better than Netflix. I just saw a message. I
Oh, yeah,
don't know.
What is he watching on Netflix?
I don't
I
know.
can give very good recommendations. All right, so amongst the heading firms, this goes to all of you, and you please quickly close this. Amongst the heading firms, what is your risk mitigation strategy in case significant decline of revenue over 6 months? I आपको already पूछ ही लिया actually. Wait it out, reduce recurring expenses, repurpose with other services, or maybe shut shop. Shut shop तो कोई नहीं बोलने वाला है, because you all have employees. They will reach your home. But let's see what the audience says. And there are practicing architects who have their own setup. So it'll take 30 seconds. In the meanwhile, किसी को कुछ बोलना है, and then we'll be done. Ladies will have the last word.
Kalhan, what's our industry has been missing is valuing themselves in open market. You know,
which is what? Hindi mein
which is like, I would put it simple. You know, anybody who has got listed in the stock market has printed his own currency, I would say.
All right, guys, bad news for you. So wait it out is 12%, reduce recurring expenses is 41%, repurpose with other services is 44%, and maybe shut shop is 3%. So in a month from now, this will change. Repurpose with other services, meaning people will do anything. Basically, we are doing from design build to hosting exhibitions, everything architects are doing other than architecture. So I don't know what exactly repurposing might be. So there you go. You have less competition. So yeah, you were saying something, Swapnil. Women get the last word, and I think we are out of time.
It's about. I'll tell you something simple story. I met a modular manufacturer around almost 3 months back, and I was surprised that he had listed his firm in Bombay Stock Exchange with a turnover of only 10 crores. Okay. Apart from his profits, he was selling his shares, 2 or 3% every year to make additional profits.
Are you able to list your firm as an architect? First question.
But why do you want to remain as an architect and just wait for it not to get listed?
No, okay, that goes somewhere else.
You can list a firm. You can list a firm as a consulting company. You can list a firm as a consulting company.
Absolutely.
Can you stop doing jugaad and solve the problem? So we are doing jugaad all our lives. I mean, the question is this: you cannot even hire a director who's a finance director for your company. How will you ever grow? I mean, it's a reality of the enabling COA that we have put in place, which basically everything. So look, those things are all issues to be dealt with. You cannot go to the Bombay Stock Exchange. You cannot put it up there. You cannot put your company up there. It's not allowed. You know it. It cannot be a limited company for that matter.
Mine is a limited
You know
company.
that. No, but that's not as an architect, right? We at least we all earned our place here on this seminar as architects. So designers for that matter. So I'm just saying, other than by the way, you don't need to be necessarily our vendors. So please, all of you, let's give some suggestions that we can put out there, which people might even be interested in. Usually, webinars sun ke log mar gaye hain, bore ho gaye. So I'll end on the note that we started a bit late and then we are ending it a bit late, but it's always a pleasure to listen to my friends. Wonderful
Questions
to have
from
all
audience?
here.
Yeah. Kalhan, any questions
Is
from
there
audience?
time for that still? I don't know. There is questions, but do we have time? I mean, it's lunchtime, right? Answer live? What is this?
Yeah.
Good
Do
Lord.
you feel
Employees have been
this
working since...
I think.
Particularly lockdown? I mean...
Why should I have to type answers? Let's ask the questions. Okay, I'll put up the questions to you guys. All right. So this is not one of your employees, right?
No.
Okay, ladies, do you feel the lockdown particularly helping women in any way? I mean, clearly you guys are happy with this. No,
Yes,
the question is posed to you.
I think the lockdown
Oh, it's
has
all the
been a
women
great
asking
time
questions other than
to
Bobby.
reinvent ourselves.
Can we get a spotlight on the?
I
Can we get a
don't think
spotlight
you're
on the people?
reinventing yourselves. I think the men are reinventing themselves.
no. Actually, you have to understand that many men have lost their jobs here, and the women, they have. I mean, yeah, sorry, it's a fact, and
No,
somebody
yeah, sure.
has to do something about it, and that's what we are doing. We have to empower. Women empowerment is going to be a massive social change here. It is going to be. So 7 Makeover Angels is totally aimed at that.
I have I think I'll have to agree with you, actually.
Yes, thank you
Women
so
have been
much.
getting
Thank you.
empowered, and now it will be like we will be marginalized forever. Swapnil and Ateet, you listening to us, right?
Yes, we have to empower women. I agree to that. Yes, and we are not just talking about it. We are doing something about it. So there is something
Okay.
concrete we are doing.
What will you do? How will you take care of people who have worked for you for years? वैसे ही सबका burden लेके घूमता है. अब क्या करेगा?
See, what's important is, at least in my organization, we have been very transparent. The books are open to all the employees, and they are lovely, wonderful people. You know, they're as good as the
And starving,
stakeholders. So,
starving
Yes,
people.
Yeah, a good team matters a lot. Team always matters, and we have wonderful
so when
teams.
you speak to them and you they also understand your situation, and they have been working hard, and it's about being together in this particular times.
Yeah.
So employees do understand, and that has been very fortunate. So we have divided the teams into smaller parts, and there are like 4 startups working under same office. So that's how we have changed the culture in the organization.
So anyways, I'll have to learn this. So all right, so wonderful.
And employees have always
Wonderful.
been family to us. I think we all
Yes,
function the
of course.
same way. They
I
are
think
family.
we're time up.
Yeah.
Yeah, your time is up,
think,
but
yeah.
thank you so much. Look, it's never enough time to do justice to something so big and with so many experiences out there. But thank you for being here and giving your time and being here in the morning. I know evenings are somehow preferred. I don't know why, but it was a pleasure having you. I did gain something from here. I think there's still a sense of optimism, whatever it's worth, and I don't know if it's good or bad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think.
Thank you.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
see you
Thank you.
all.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, all of
Thank you so much.
you.